Hey guys, this is Rainwolf from Convention Video. We're back with another episode of reviewing Sword Art Online World of Underworld Part 2.
Hey guys, this is Kirido Silverheart back on Convention Video talking Sword Art Online.
And I'm Asana Silverheart, and I will be your waifu for the podcast.
And this
Woohoo!
is Lyria, the other waifu.
Does anyone else feel this one was short as fuck?
Oh my
Yes.
god, it went by so fast.
Yeah, it was so quick, and there was a lot of information. A lot of things happened, but it just felt like it was just
Flew by.
shoved
Action packed and massive data dump.
together. Yeah,
They didn't even put an outro out. They just did that normal, typical end of the season type where they just, all right, here's the credits. They're still gonna talk.
Yeah, and we'll get to it when we get there throughout the episode. That, in personal opinion, was a beautiful ending for that episode.
Mm.
All right, so now starting off with the rest of the gang showing up: Liz, Silica.
Hey Gil, badass
Yes.
entrance. As soon as you drop, slice a motherfucker in half. Beautiful entrance.
Then you got all the tribe leaders.
And I'm not going to lie, I have been so out of it here lately. I completely forgot that the rest of the Sleeping Knights from Alfheim Online were still around. They were still alive. That none of them passed away like Yuki Kono did.
She was the only one.
Yeah, I completely forgot that. So when all of a sudden they start popping in and just ripping bad guys apart, I started tearing up. I was like, yes!
It's like for what Kirito and definitely Asuna, definitely with Kirito's moment where he helped them out to achieve that goal.
Mhm.
It's like, nah, we don't care the consequences. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's like I told him. I was like, they were all sick. They were in the hospital for like sick children, but yeah, she was the only one that passed. And so yeah, I think it was nice. It felt, it was a nice throwback to the other episodes, and it was very fitting. Really cool to see everybody.
Now Asuna's all healed up.
Mhm.
She's pulling all berserk healer mode, going straight back into the action.
Well, yeah, it's because she felt that she was worn down and everything, but everyone showing up just revigorated her. She was reinvigorated. She's ready to go. She's ready to fight everybody and take on. She's like, I'm on the front line. You guys go do this, you do that, and I'm kicking ass. And she was gone.
I have a feeling her character also was transferred over because you saw that little flash of light that was healing her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was just her recovering because I don't think, even because the goddess she has is the goddess creation, not health. That's Lifa.
No, Lifa's Earth. I thought.
Yeah.
Earth.
Earth, but she has that
Yeah, she does have like a
rejuvenation
regen
ability.
effect. Yeah.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that. That would be
I don't
an
know. I took
interesting.
it more as like a Yuki, something with Yuki. Like because she says her name, and then there's that light up, and they're all looking at her like, "What the bleep is that?" And I felt like there was something there. It was something with her. Like it wasn't, not necessarily like a transfer over or anything, but there was something. Maybe that's correlated with it. Maybe
Yeah.
it did have like a character transfer, and Yuki had something to do with it. I don't know, but
We won't know until a little more details because we don't even know Yuki's actually going to come over or not.
I think you guys mean Yui.
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 I don't know. We were just
Sorry,
talking about Yuki.
because I said Yuki earlier,
Oh.
talking about Yuki Kono.
Yeah,
I'm
we were just
sorry.
talking about Yui.
Now that jump from that whole fight scene of Asuna getting back into action, Liz and all them showing up. Now we have back on the arc, the whole situation there where
Bercoli Synthesis 1 versus Emperor Vecta.
well, not there yet.
Not there.
Oh.
You're getting. He's way ready for
A
that.
little ahead.
Yes,
I am.
he's
I
ready.
want to talk about that fight so bad.
He's getting
Where they're picking up on
Oh, the synchronicities.
Haiga. Yeah, Haiga.
Yes.
Yeah, Haiga's picking up that there's something. There's activity. There's a
2 timestamps are with Asuna, and then again
Seen that.
with yeah.
And so that's when he starts to piece together the realization that, your actuality is kept within inside of the people who have your memory. And that's like a beautiful, sentimental
That there's actually a backup of you.
on someone else's memory. And you see that later too. But like that's kind of an interesting concept if you're thinking, you don't think about that in terms of, memory and things like that. Like you don't think of it as a technical term, but yeah, it's you live on through the people who know you type deal.
Who else thinks that doctor that's going, or that doctor or whatever technician that's going with him might end up dead?
The one that's going with
What was his
Haiga?
name? Yanai?
Yeah,
it
he
was?
even said he'd take a bullet for him. I was like, oh, that poor guy. Background guy, red shirt, steps
Yeah,
up.
yeah. This is
Red shirt back out. I will go. I can take a bullet. I'm scrawny. I'm just like, oh, you honey. Oh.
You just set yourself up.
Because I thought for sure, I was like, they're going to send Hyga. He's going to get shot. Something's going to happen. He's going to die. It's going to be super sad. They're going to just step all over my heart. And then here comes background guy. And I was like, poor background guy. I hope he doesn't have kids. Like,
with him being able to willing to just do that without any hesitation at all. He was
I mean, I guess because they were sitting there, it's like they're like, "What else am I gonna do? I've been sitting here hiding in the corner for the last 16 episodes."
But you know something.
How old he looks, it's like he's put his life. It's his life's work almost.
Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, it almost kind of makes me wonder: is he willing to sacrifice himself for that, for the good of the situation and to help Kirito and help everybody else? Or am I just a cynical bastard and think that maybe he's a mole or double agent type thing?
Yeah. you would not trust someone. I could see
the
it.
thing is, with him being there as long as he has and the whole situation, I don't think he's one of them. I don't think he is at all.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping he's not.
I mean, that would be an interesting twist. But yeah, it's like you said, he doesn't quite fit the age range unless they gave him something or promised him something or bribed him.
Well, he doesn't give off those expressions that he's kind of like one of those flags.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
a minor character.
I mean,
most minor characters that you know they're going to double cross you have those little flags that go off.
Yeah, facial tell or something.
Yeah, but you know.
There was no like talking in his head moment.
I don't know. I think what made me think that was just the way they interacted with him. It's like, oh, you know, thank you for offering to do that. ... Mr. Yanai or Dr. Yanai, whatever. And he just had that it looked like a sweet, innocent, you know, yeah, I'm gonna do this for you to help everybody out, and yeah, I'm probably gonna die type of smile. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's either he's gonna die or he's gonna turn. So we've got two options and two ways this could go. And then of course what about the extra robot in the back?
Well, it can't be used from their explanation.
Yeah, it can't be used because it's not weighted. Like, what if they like it? Almost looks very Iron Man-y. I don't know. Maybe that's me.
Well, it's small. It's almost the same size as the bot in front of him, but it looks like it's more of a combat type. Without the balancing part they need, it just fall right over.
So, I mean, I don't know if that's going to come into play later, because they wouldn't show it if it didn't have some
With
significance.
the way they brought it up, I think it's going to come into play somehow.
Yeah, they massively linger on that shot.
Yeah, they were like, here's this thing that looks very early stages Iron Man back here, and then here's robot, cannon fodder is pretty much what's going on.
Yeah, it's like here's C-3PO and here's the Mark 1.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. So
now we're gonna step over to the big fight. Well, even the bigger fight than even the introduction of this episode. Kohli and Vecta.
Holy crap!
But Kohli did a giant fuck you.
I thought that was good. That was well played, and up to that point, he didn't, because Vecta was making him look weak. Now we know Vecta's powerful. Like, we understood that he was powerful.
And I didn't think about, with Bakoli's ability of time, I didn't think about that, because you gotta think, and from what digging I have done, he's been around for almost 300 years.
Yeah, he was Synthesist 1. I mean, you don't live that long without being a badass. There
Even
was
if
something.
your memory is getting wiped every so many years.
He was just a few more seconds, and he's like 30 more seconds, and I was like, he's counting down to something, and Vecta figured it out. And for a second, when Vecta pops up beside him, I'm like, oh, this is it. He's gonna just run him.
Yeah, when he goes for the actual swipe.
Yeah, the killing blow. And then the dragon came in like, I don't listen to nobody. I'm a strong, independent dragon that doesn't need no rider.
got to think the bond they have, because for being together,
yeah.
we don't know how many of that 300 years.
Probably the whole time. I'm not sure how long the dragons live in that particular world, but I'm assuming if it's
Well, you got to think the time before Broccoli actually became Synthesis 1.
Yeah.
Because if you do the digging a little bit, he's actually the founder of Rald Village.
Yeah, he was the legendary swordsman that they talked about in the very beginning of Alicization, that the kids found the dragon skeleton.
It was a really like awesome moment that, I just sliced your past. I just I killed you before you've killed me, and you didn't even know it.
The balls that dragon had. Definitely even when Victor thought he was dead. That dragon was like, nope, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, turns around, like,
Dragon's
chomps
beast.
him. I mean, that is probably one of the single most badass anime dragon attacks I've seen in God knows when.
Anyone who has a pet is under the realization they'd like to think their pet would save them. I've got a fat cat sitting here that would not, like, if you offered him pets in a sandwich, he'd probably be like, screw everybody else, but that dragon is going down for you. It was a beautiful moment, and he was like, I told you to go, I told you not to stay, and that dragon's like, no, I'm staying. It was very nice. It was very well done, and it was poetic, and it all to end like it did. It was very poetic.
And the sad part is like we're already almost to the end of this already. The last 10 minutes or 5 minutes or so of the episode is pretty much just a tearjerker.
Mm-hmm.
The feels train hits you because you got him sitting there as if he was alive, but Alice is there waking up and then noticing that he's actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
And she even calls him father. She's like, father, and then she, there's the realization after she wakes up and realizes where she's at, then she's like, uncle, and she realizes he's dead.
Then the whole scene of the spirits, well, pretty much his spirit in the air with his pet dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the administrator.
But this is what I love. I love the fact that in this scene, they brought in his mental conjuring of administrator.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
because this
he
reinforces the entire thing that they brought up in this episode of the memory living on in somebody else.
But it's the memory that you see, because if you see, like, she smiles at him,
It's before she became corrupt in the way she was.
It's
Mhm.
before her mind turned. Yeah, and he remembers something better. And sometimes the most evil, you have to think, sometimes evil people, you remember something good about them. Or how many times have you loved someone and then they've left you or whatever, and you've resented them, but you can still remember back on the good things. So it's like he remembers the good in her. He remembers the things that he fought for.
Brings it to the point that they were lovers.
Yeah.
By the way that just that ending scene ends off with her hopping into his lap, the way he holds her, and then they're flying off.
Well, you know how she does like their initiation, kind of. Have you seen
Yeah.
I mean, we did see that.
Well, the thing is, it might have been different during the time when he became a knight.
Yeah, and that's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been somebody that he used to love.
Because before the corruption, there was a whole different process, and memories weren't really white, from what knowledge we may or may not have, because the knights were originally created to protect the kingdom from the darkness.
And then you have that very final part.
Finado.
His current lover before he died.
Synthesis 2, yeah. Yeah, she's pregnant, yeah. And
Mhm.
so, because he mentions that, their child, he won't be there to raise their child. And that was like, oh, that was horrible. That was so sad.
And it kind of makes me wonder, like, when that may have happened.
That's a very good question, because for them to know already.
Well, you have to think, though, if you remember when Kirito fought her, she was still wearing the mask, and then, that mask ends up off. And he was like, he brought up the fact she was wearing makeup under a mask. Like, she's wearing makeup under a helmet. Obviously, she's trying to put on a good face for someone. And I believe he even brings that up. And it does have that flash with her where there is a man there, but you don't really see who the man is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it happens sometime after the administrator is gone. Because I don't think because they had free
I think
will,
they had
but
maybe a
didn't have-
romance or an attraction. I think I feel like the administrator put pretty hard clamps on everybody with anything like that. Like, she would have probably
killed her.
Yeah, probably anybody, really. Like,
Either
she
killed
had
her
pretty
or
hard.
wiped her memory and
Yeah.
reset her. Like she
Because
does
it
to
would
all
be
knights.
it would be a risk to have, two of her knights, like, in love or romantically involved. I'd say it probably, but there was hints to it before.
Yeah.
Like, so the attraction's been there, or maybe even the love was there
I think
before.
it was really there, but then it didn't really kick off until the administrator was gone.
Yeah. So yeah, they didn't. So yeah, because that was kind of it was a little bit of a surprise.
And now to the finale, where Victor.
So Gabriel is back in the real world. His Vecta persona in game is destroyed and deleted. Now he's porting in another character.
His
and
actual character.
Well, it makes I have a question here. My
He might
brain
have
works
multiple accounts.
exactly.
For the type of person he is and the type of work he does. Same with Dipshit McGee, his partner, that died first. But I have a feeling Dipshit McGee only has one account.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking that because we got to see a glimpse of his converted avatar in the last episode when Asuna was frontlining against those troops, because he even makes the comment, he's like, I'm going to enjoy killing this bitch. But it makes me wonder with Gabriel, we've seen his Gun Gale character very much similar to his persona in the real world when it comes to his military tactics and training and thinking. But we also know that there's that storyline going on with Shinon where she was attacked, and it's pretty much I don't think it's directly said, but it's pretty much hinted at that it was Gabriel because of the type of attack that happened to her. So did Gabriel use his basic regular GGO character in this attack, or does he have an alternate attack that's basically a homicidal rapist psycho?
Yeah, because also, isn't he one of the original Laughing Coffin, if I remember correctly? I might be remembering incorrectly. He just might be a psycho.
But here's the question, too. Can you take someone else's account and convert it to make it your own, and then you go into it? Could you technically take someone else's account and merge yourself into it? I mean, they never say fully you can't. I mean, like you said, the way the Flexlight's supposed to work.
At this point, it wouldn't be Fluxlight, it'd be just because it's supposed to be synced to your nerve gear.
But he's converting something over. So if you're converting it an older account, who's to say he's not getting someone else's account from one of the other games who's a badass and converting it over into this one so that he can go into it? I mean, that's something that, to mull over too.
That's a possibility.
I think we're going to be surprised whatever it is. And it's a bad time no matter which way we go.
Because he wasn't part, from what I'm digging up, he had no interaction in SAO, the original.
I was going to say, I thought the last quote-unquote member of Laughing Coffin to have any kind of arc dealings was Death Gun.
Yeah, and Death Gun was the last one that was not either dead or arrested yet, as of yet.
My question is, though, like, does he really think he couldn't stay alive as the Dark God? Like, does he really think he stands a chance?
The thing is, even though he was able to take Broccoli's ability, he probably didn't think into its full extent.
No.
Yeah, it kind of like it'd be on the same part of like me playing as Asuna's avatar in Final Fantasy XIV and her playing as me. We're not used to each other's setups and skills and abilities and things.
You also play inverted, and I hate that.
There is nothing wrong with inverted.
No,
there isn't.
But I mean, there's a lot of questions there.
And he has a mental problem, just straight out. He just loves taking the life of people.
Yeah, obviously from like his childhood memories and all the sick stuff.
See which character this is, because we've seen his GGO character. Does he have a character that's part of the ALL world, or one of the other multiple games that branched off from the sea?
Yeah. I didn't think about that myself either.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that it could be, so we'll just have to wait and see what he ports in with. My question too is, now that he's no longer the Dark God, are the people of the Dark Terror, they're not going to follow him?
That's a hit or miss, in my opinion, because
I don't think most of them are going to go. Half of them are dead. Anyway, the other half, obviously, like the orcs are effing done with him. There's a lot of people who don't want anything to do with him. I mean, he has riled them up that they're mad at the humans.
He doesn't have the Puglets anymore.
No, the monks don't want anything to do with him.
They've left him completely. They're sided with the human empire now.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the American VR MMOs who
are disappointed at what's going on.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, yeah, it's a virtual combat game, woo, but we're all getting our asses slaughtered.
Well,
Mhm.
that it was being too easy at first, and then now they're getting
Yeah.
slaughtered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
You know, they don't even know about the
What's
politics,
actually
the
going
drama,
on?
or anything. They're just like, I'm a character, I'm killing people.
They
This
think
is
it's a
Yeah.
beta.
awesome.
It's a beta test to them. That's
It's a
Yeah.
when the
beta test
post
game.
was
Yeah,
made.
it's just like, oh, let's try this out. Let's see what
So,
this
I mean,
is.
honestly, you know, to that point, I don't think Vecta even has a purpose.
Not with the Dark King palette. Yeah, because most the witches are wiped out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mage's Guild is gone. The
Puglets are
orcs,
with the humans.
yeah,
The
the
orcs are
orcs are
mostly
done.
wiped out. Goblins are completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
Kobolds mostly wiped out.
He's pretty much there's hardly anyone left. And you have to think Leafa's up in the dark territory right now.
Yeah.
So what's to stop Leafa from going up there and being like, "Here's what's really going on. Come
How-
on,
the-
everybody."
Well, the
Poor
number of them
Leafa.
won't listen.
I'd say some of them would. Like it's I feel like she's already got the leader of the
I would say the
orcs.
ones that survived that are having doubts
Mm-hmm.
would
Yeah.
probably side with her or question it.
Yeah. Well, and she's come down. She looks like a god. They assume that she is one,
Well,
and
the thing
that's
is, do they
maybe
know?
not
The
theirs.
thing is, the Dark Territory. Do they know of these three goddesses as the human empire?
I honestly don't think they do, because if they did, then wouldn't have Lilipin recognized her
When
as
she came
Terraria?
down, that's a good question.
That's
Because the
true.
only thing they believed in was the Dark Emperor god and
Returning
his,
to guide them and lead them into the.
and then whoever his lieutenant was.
Yeah, his Dark Knight.
I think that's where we can pretty much wrap it up for this one.
Yeah, so the squad's back together. Vecta is dead.
I know we didn't bring this up in the last one, but she known as Savage.
Mm-hmm.
That smirk when she says, "And we're not the only ones."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
That look on
Yes.
her face.
You can hear the salt.
It's not a little bit. It's a lot.
Like, I am watching you on a TV in America, an anime that was released in Japan, and I can taste the salt from here.
Any last thought?
No, I just hope that, I mean, it feels like it's flying by. So, I mean, it's like we're working towards something. I hope we get there soon. I'm
There was
excited.
just so much information to fill in this episode.
A lot of things. There's a lot of things going on. And, I'm curious of when they'll get everything going and we'll have Kirito back.
They're pretty much dropping the seeds of each perspective, and then they're gonna jump. Then there's gonna be like an episode or two that feeds onto that perspective, and then jumps to the other perspective.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be a
All
lot
I know
going on.
is when this is said and done, if that finale isn't like an hour long, just flat out blood fest of battles, it's going to feel so disappointing, because it's literally going to feel like / oh, game over.
I really kind of wish they would have done a 1 hour intro episode for the part 2 of the World Underworld.
That would have been nice.
With how much info was released in this one, and then what was released in the first part, or the first episode, that could have been put into a 45-minute to an hour episode.
Yeah, if you reshuffle things around and rescale things and have them come up in different ways, as opposed to, okay, this fight lasted technically 2 episodes, and then here's what information came out in the aftermath. I think certain things could have been shuffled around and data dumped in other ways, but I don't know. It maybe it feels fast just because we're so invested into it now. This
I agree.
season is just so heart catching and so interest grabbing,
because we know it's coming to the close of the story, this massive story that has taken 2 parts to do,
Mhm.
and then there's been this whole gap. It was pushed to begin with,
Yeah.
because this whole COVID.
Yeah.
I would say that's about it. Hope everyone has enjoyed what we have done so far on episode 1 and 2. If you have any discussions or anything you would like to say to us, or just some final thoughts on our end, just drop it down in the comments below. This is Rainwolf.
This is Kirito Silverheart.
Asuna Silverheart.
And Lyria.
So don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, hit that bell button to stay up to date, and we'll see you next time.
Laters.
Bye.